Wandering Winder back with another entry in the Dominion homework series. This time we're looking at some fortress combos. We're going to start with lurker, and this one's real simple. You can lurker a fortress. You gain the fortress on a single lurker play. You don't have to worry about your opponent stealing it from the trash. And it goes right to hand, so you've turned your lurker into a cantrip that draws a fortress. Pretty good. Let's back up. Hermit is a little bit interesting. Need to get a few fortresses for the Hermit one to work, or to be able to show its effectiveness. It works fine with fewer, but in order to show how effective it can be, then you need more than that. Okay. Getting close to that point now. So this isn't going to be something that you're going to open with, but it may come up later in the game. Okay, so here we go. Hermit, you trash a fortress from the trash, and that lets you turn your Hermit into a cantrip. Obviously, you need to have the actions to be able to do this, but it lets you get your fortresses. This is a pretty minor synergy, but it's something to be aware of in games that feature both those cards. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, let's now try to do something with Doctor. And okay, so now we can start to take fortresses. Again, this isn't really something that you would be building your game plan around, and I should be playing better than this with my Doctor tracking. Cool. But the point is, at a certain point, let's trash some more coppers first. Let's get this estate gone. At a certain point, if you have enough fortresses vis-a-vis other stuff in your hand, you can trash fortress and turn your Doctor again into a draw card. So these first few are, just letting you draw extra stuff with the fortress. It doesn't actually increase your hand size usually. If you hit multiple fortresses with Doctor, that can be draw, but that's kind of contrived. It's mostly just nice things. Lurker is the most relevant of any of them, of course. Let's undo back to the beginning here. Next, let's go with Priest. And for the Priest combo, you probably want some fives to do some business. Let's start with a market. We'll move to Council Room in a short amount of time. Okay, let's just start getting some fortresses. A Council Room, because why not? Okay, let's load up on fortresses. Want to get thinned down here. Let's get a second Priest to help us thin, and some more fortresses to help us draw. Okay, Fortress, Priest again. Now we should be getting close to the state we want our deck in. We want to keep thinning at the moment. Oh, let's take another Council Room. Okay, so now we need to have enough actions to play all our business, so let's just pair all this stuff together. Want to hold on to a fortress if you can. At the end, okay, so 5 actions. I guess let's trash these coppers and the silver Okay, so now we need to add more buys. Basically, we use the priest as a ton of money, and usually you need a lot of food for that. But with fortress, the fortress can be the food, so something like this. And you can see that you make an absurdly large amount of money. If I would have calculated better, I could have gotten to 48 maybe, but 47 okay here. And this is pretty fast. This is turn 14, and it's not necessarily optimally played. But yeah, the six priests made, well, the markets made 5 money, so the six priests made 42 money. That's a big combo, but you need buys for it to be worth it. But it just makes a ton of money. Um, Now let's get into a few of the other big ones here. Um, Bishop is maybe the most important one here to look at. You get a couple bishops, and you start getting fortresses. And, well, the order of this doesn't matter so much, but the point is to get down to a deck of 4 bishops and 4 fortresses, and nothing else. And, okay, probably messed this up a little bit. But okay, once we get down to this point, we're going to need to trash the silver here. And so now we have 4 bishops and 4 fortresses. You can get more fortresses. More bishops stops you from maybe doing what you want to do. You get to 4 bishops and 4 fortresses, and then every turn uh, you can trash fortress 4 times, each of which gets you 3 VP. So every turn you're scoring 12 VP, which is as much as 2 provinces. Um, and you could just keep doing this forever. The reason why you get 4 of each rather than some other number is if you get more than 4 bishops, then you're at some point likely to draw 5 bishops, and then you won't be able to draw more, and you're not going to be able to trash all the stuff that you want to. So that's not actually advancing you anywhere. And you could get more than 4 fortresses. That's perfectly fine, but you want to have at least 4 so that you have a fortress to trash to all of your bishops. Um, Having said this, this combo in and of itself, while it scores a lot of points, it can usually be also improved on. So you can take, other draw cards, and then if you can draw more, you can do more than 4 and 4 and score more points per turn. So watch out for that as well. But it's a huge amount of points and not to be slept on, because usually it's going to be pretty hard. You're going to need something pretty fast to be able to finish the game out before the bishop fortress thing catches up. So it works with other stuff somewhat, but it's usually going to be at least a part of the plan on any board. So bishop fortress is perhaps the strongest of these, but there's some other strong ones as well. Let's get the hermit here just to help us speed up what we're doing a little bit. We're going to look at upgrade next, and let's get a couple more silvers. Possibly that last silver was already overkill. Take a madman. Now the point here is to get a bunch of upgrades and fortresses. Mostly upgrades, but the fortresses will come in a moment here. to where, and again, I'm probably not playing most of these optimally even, but you then start upgrading your fortresses to get more upgrades. You do want to thin down first, so don't sleep on that, but you can do something like this, and then you can start piling out whatever fives you want. So if nothing else, you can go for duchies. And get all the duchies over the course of a couple turns. Obviously, this is only turn 13, so it's not like this is super lightning fast, hey, on your hit parade, but if there's better fives or other support pieces, it can be very relevant. So like here, I should have probably gotten some council rooms first, and then gone on with my business, and then only gone on for the duchies at the very end. But still, you're going to see this is going to be a highly relevant thing. Whatever. Anyway, you can see that there's some synergy there. Well, if I could type right, we go back to the beginning. The last thing I want to look at here is precession, which is just almost always very good with fortress. And again, this is a pretty poor build. You don't want to open with fortress, but whatever, you know, I'm just trying to get these things lined up ASAP. Okay, so if you precession a fortress, first of all, you are drawing a card effectively, because you use 2 cards and you draw 2 cards, but then the fortress goes back in your hand. So you're effectively drawing a card and you're gaining a 5. So it's a pretty good combination. Let's take another fortress, hermit, whatever. And you can see precession fortress, gain an upgrade. Precession fortress, gain a 5. It's your draw, it's your gains, it's everything you ever wanted in life. So anyway, these are the fortress combos to watch out for. The biggest, most important ones are bishop and precession. Upgrades also pretty darn nice. Priest pretty darn nice. Lurker very nice in terms of, you know, it turns your lurkers into much better cards. At the very least, they can just be gaining villages as cantrips for you. It can save your hand by getting you a village. It can do your other stuff. And then at some point, it can do other stuff for you too. So this one's also really nice. The Doctor and the Hermit are more like pet tricks that you should be aware of when they come up, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, thanks for watching this Dominion homework series video on Fortress tricks. This has been Wandering Winder, saying we'll see you next time.